Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome. So in this video, I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the darker spirits that I see around people and sort of how I've been dealing with them. So there are different things that can happen when there's a spirit around you. It can be something that's attached to you, so it's broken the barrier between your energy and what separates your energy from everything around it. So it's sort of penetrated your aura and become attached and is now feeding off of your sort of life energy. So that's an attachment. And then there's another kind of sort of attachment, I guess you could call it. I don't really use that term because I use attachments specifically for the, ones that are actually attached. But there's another kind of spirit that can drain you of your energy, which is the followers. So these are the ones that are just sort of around you and you can feel them. You might be able to see them just depending on, if they show you themselves in a dream or something, but it'll just sort of be like this heavy, weighed down feeling because the earthbound spirits, they're not creating their own form of energy because they're no longer in a body. So they have to pull energy from everything around them in order to sort of sustain themselves and not become sort of like energetically starved and then either be forced to cross over or I guess that's really the only option at that point. I'm not really sure exactly with that one. But as far as the darker spirits, some of them are, these non-human spirits, like I've talked about in other videos of the non-human energies or spirits. And these ones are much stronger than the average human spirit. At least they can be. So I sort of call these darker spirits like ETs or Archons. You can really call them whatever. I don't like to use the word demon because they're not always like that. It just seems like a different life form that's sort of older than humanity, so they've evolved to be stronger in the dark. It's just a matter of, humanity hasn't been around as long as some of these other species, so they just are a little bit more powerful than the average spirit. So the way I've been dealing with these is typically what happens is that let's say that someone has a dark spirit attached to them, and then, I'm able to dislodge it. So typically, even before I dislodge them, sometimes they'll just jump off of the person because they realize that they are going to be removed either way, so it's better to just jump off and then become a follower. So that's sort of the issue I was having, where it's like, oh, I'll just jump off and, I'm not attached anymore, I'm just a follower, so you can't send me into the light. So they're trying to avoid being sent into the light. And I can also stop them from siphoning the person while they're attached, but I don't have that same ability, necessarily if they're not attached because they're not breaking that free will barrier. So then what I started doing was that I would create a portal and transport them somewhere else on the earth where they wouldn't be able to find their way back to the person. But then I had this vision, of what happened to someone else, from someone else's energy, sort of their perspective. So these dark spirits, like I said, they're more powerful, so they can actually sort of track your energy and hunt you down. And I don't mean hunt you down like they're gonna kill you, but like, for example, I sort of got the feeling, I was like, okay, like something is like trying to find me, and this is when I was learning about this. So I tried to put up like protective, I tried to like put invisibility cloaks everywhere. I put it on my house, my phone, my computer, so they wouldn't be able to like sense that energy, but I didn't do my parents' house, and they were somehow able to go to my parents' house, find my energy, and then trace the trail from there somehow. So they were still able to find me, and I was like, okay, how do I deal with these spirits that are tracking people down? And what I started doing was rather than just sending them to a different place on the earth, I started sending them to a different timeline or like a parallel universe. So let's say like for that spirit in particular, I sent them to a timeline where I didn't exist, and then so they sort of were confused. They're like, oh, like where'd she go? But it's like I don't exist in that reality. So that's sort of what I started doing, because once I realized that they, the more we evolve with time, or, you know, through our growth, whether it's into the light or into the dark, we're gaining more abilities. So rather than just like a regular earthbound human spirit that may not necessarily have the ability to sort of find the energy or aura trails and then stalk them and find that person, these spirits did have that ability. So that's why it's not always enough to send them to a different place. It's almost like time and place that needs to be different to sort of get them away from people. So I hope that made sense. I realize it's a little bit weird, but it's part of what I deal with every day. So I hope this video was helpful and that you enjoyed it, and feel free to leave your thoughts below or ask any questions. All right, I'll see you next time. Bye.